GS1 Computer Science, Basic Computer Operations 1. Computer operation is a process by which the computer starts the operation within the system and coordinates activities within and outside the system. The process whereby computer starts operation within the system and at the same time it coordinates activities within and outside the system. That's what we refer to as computer operations. And one of the computer operations we'll be looking at today is what we refer to as booting. And what is booting? Booting is a bootstrapping process that starts operating system when the user turns on a computer. Immediately a user turns up a computer, the operating system that has been installed on that computer by the computer manufacturer starts to load. And the process of that operating system starting is what we refer to as the booting process. And at the same time, a boot sequence is the initial set of operations that a computer performs when power is switched on. The initial set of operations that the computer performs when power is switched on. And what are those basic operations? We refer some of them to the BIOS, the basic input and output system operation, whereby the computer has to check all the hardware and all the peripherals that has been connected to it, whether they have been connected very well or whether they have been installed very well before it starts the loading of the operating system. And that is the process that we call booting. And now let's look at the types of booting we have. There are two types of booting. The first one is the cold booting and the other one is the warm booting. Now, what's the difference between the two? Let's look at the warm booting first. When we talk about the warm booting, this is a process of restarting a computer or its operating system or restarting the operating system without removing the power. What do we mean by this? A computer system that is already working, you have switched it on, the computer has been working, and you are to restart the computer again without shutting it down, without switching it off. In that process, you are warm booting the computer. Just like our mobile smartphone. You know, when you want to switch off a mobile smartphone, it gives you two options, whether you want to shut it down or you want to restart. The process of restarting, you are warm booting the computer like that. So a computer that is on, that is already working, when you restart it, then the process of restarting that computer is what we refer to as warm booting. But when we come to the other aspect, which is cold booting, this cold booting is the process of powering up the computer by pressing the power button. In this state, the computer is not on. The computer is totally down. You have shut the computer that is off. And when you want to switch it on, by pressing the power button on the computer system, then you are cold booting. But in the place of warm booting, you don't need to press the power button. You just have to restart the computer. And after you restart the computer, the Control Alt Delete key is a combination of key on the original PC, which was designed to allow a computer to warm boot. By pressing the combination of these three keys, Control key, the alternate key, and the delete key, you are telling the computer to warm boot. That is, it should restart itself. And this combination of keys are only limited to original PC. And what do we mean by PC? That's the personal computers, like the computers that are having Windows on them. So that is the difference between warm booting and cold booting. Warm booting involves restarting the computer, while cold booting involves switching on the computer from the scratch. GS1 Computer Science, Basic Computer Operation Lesson 2. And under this lesson, we are going to look at two headings. The first one, understanding Windows Desktop, and the second one, component of Windows Desktop. So the first one, understanding Windows Desktop. What do we refer to as a Windows Desktop? The desktop is one of the main components of the Windows. When you start a computer, once you switch on a computer and the computers on the computer system, after the booting process has been completed, the computer will display the desktop screen after self-testing and complete loading. So therefore, the desktop is the very first screen you see after Windows starts. What we are trying to say here is that when you switch on a computer and the computer has gone through the booting process, the computer has finished booting, that first screen you see, that first display you see, is what we refer to as the desktop background, the Windows desktop rather. And on the Windows desktop, we have many other things that are on the Windows desktop that you will see there to be able to know that this is a Windows desktop. And what are those things? That is what brings us to the components of a Windows desktop. And what are the components of the Windows desktop? The first thing we have here is the icon. On every Windows desktop, we have what referred to as the icon. And what does the icon signifies? An icon is a pictorial representation of an object or an application. Most of the applications that have been installed on that computer, or most of the files and documents that are on the computer, they have a particular icon that are used in recognizing or identifying them. And those icons are usually on the computer desktop. Another thing we see on the computer desktop is the taskbar. And the taskbar is normally on the window. So the taskbar is the row at the bottom of the Windows screen where all currently open applications or files are listed. Any application that you are running currently or that is being opened, they will all show on the taskbar. That is to say that these applications are currently running at this time. Another thing we have on a Windows desktop is the Start button. By clicking the Start button on the left corner of the screen, a vertical window will come up with the Start menu. Now, in the Windows desktop background, the background looks, I'm trying to give us a picture, a sketch of what it looks like. Now, when we look at the Windows background, we notice that on the Windows desktop, we are going to have a background. On the Windows desktop, we have, the first thing we see there is the background. The background can be a picture of any image. It will be displayed there. Then on the right, on the left-hand corner, there is a button there that has a Windows logo. It is that button that we refer to as the Start button. And when you click on this Start button, it will bring out some start items, some menu items of some programs that you can click on to open an application. And on the same time, we already have some icons on the desktops that is showing, that is representing some application or some file or some information that is on the desktop. So, and this taskbar is what we have under here, where you see currently applications that are running currently on the computer system. You see them on the taskbar here. They will be there, apart from the icon. Then the menu is being displayed after clicking the Start button. The menu items are going to pop off. Then also on the icons, we still have another icon that we call My Computer. It's normally on the desktop, and sometimes it may not be on the desktop. And what does this My Computer does? This computer, when you click on it, and you double click on it, it's going to show you the drives that are being connected. So My Computer, it shows the drives and hardware connected to the computer, e.g. examples of files and hardware that are connected to the computer there. We have a shared document, then a local disk, or maybe you connect a removable drive, like a flash drive to it. All are going to show on My Computer. And at the same time, on the computer, we also have an icon for the recycle bin. We have an icon for the recycle bin. And what does the icon for the recycle bin does? Any item or icon or document that you delete on the computer system goes to the recycle bin first. As we said, the recycle bin is a place where all deleted files and folders on the computer systems are before they are being permanently emptied from the computer. Now, if you should delete any file, any document, or any icon from your computer, the first place it's going to go to is the recycle bin. So that if you need to restore, maybe you have deleted it mistakenly, you can go back to the recycle bin and restore that file. But if you don't need that file again after deleting, you have to go to the recycle bin and delete it permanently from the recycle bin before the information can go finally. So that is all on the components of the Windows desktop.